1. The physical empath. You feel revitalized spending time in nature. You enjoy working with and caring for animals. You communicate in a telepathic fashion with plants and animals. You often take on the carer role in life. You enjoy working with your hands. Some may say you have healing hands. People often come to you for advice on medical issues. You're often complimented on your caring nature. The physical empath is one who balances the physical and spiritual world with ease. They can interact with animals and plants in an almost telepathic manner, giving them the ability to tune into each being's unique needs. The physical empath is one who often takes on the carer role in life, whether that be for a family member or in a romantic relationship. Often this means putting themselves last and feeling drained because of it. For a physical empath, self-care will look like spending time in nature, visiting natural bodies of water, being with their pets, or treating themselves to a massage or sauna. A physical empath may find themselves attracted to jobs which involve using their hands, such as gardening, massage therapy, and the medical fields. They may find that people compliment them on their selflessness and ability to cater to people's needs in an intuitive way. Many people who work in these fields do not even recognize their abilities as an empath. Being caring is just as part of who they are. However, it is your empathic ability that makes you so attentive. You are able to see where people require help in ways that others may not pick up on. 2. The mental empath. You have incredibly vivid dreams. You had imaginary friends as a child. You use visualization to problem solve. You are naturally artistic, creative. People often come to you for advice on big picture problems. You are often told that you are not fulfilling your potential. The mental empath could be said to spend more time in their heads than they do in the physical world. From a young age they are incredibly imaginative and bring this into adulthood. This type of empath is likely to work jobs that require a lot of planning and imagination, such as fiction writing, architecture, or planning functions and events. A mental empath is someone people go to advice for on the bigger picture, as they are able to see things from a bird's eye view. The mental empath is likely to think through every facet of a situation in their mind's eye, figuring out what paths they can take through visualization. A mental empath can find it difficult to translate all of their ideas into the physical world, leaving them feeling as if they have no purpose here. It takes realizing how their talents can be channeled that allows them to thrive. Often this type of empath doubts their ability to help others with their vision. Self-care for mental empaths looks like spending time in nature and bringing their focus back to the physical realms. Journaling and art are great for mental empaths, as they allow them to transfer what they can see in their minds into physical form. 3. The emotional empath. When you walk into a room, you feel a barrage of emotions. You can sense a shift in atmosphere instantly. You are often told that you are too sensitive. People feel comfortable asking you for advice on sensitive topics. Other people's moods directly influence yours. Your presence can light up a room in seconds. An emotional empath is someone who often finds it difficult to discern where their emotions begin and others end. Emotional empaths find themselves suffering from emotional fatigue, which is where you take on the pain of others to an extent that leaves you drained and unwell. An emotional empath is likely to be seen as too sensitive. This type of empath can feel like a delicate person in a very harsh world. It's not uncommon for this to cause the emotional empath to close off their abilities completely or adopt a facade of hard-heartedness. However, it is not sensitivity that's the problem, but that we haven't been given the right tools to utilize it. Learning to balance your abilities as an emotional empath means honoring your sensitivity while developing your strength. Emotional empaths are usually introverts. Their growth will require them to step out of their comfort zone and learn how to be open without taking on the burden of everyone else's needs. Self-care for the emotional empath looks like spending time alone to recharge, or spending time with a close friend who respects your emotional boundaries. Once an emotional empath is able to set strong energy boundaries and start defining a strong sense of self, they can thrive in jobs such as counseling and psychology. 4. The spiritual empath. You often see ghosts, angels, and spirits. You can sense if there is a presence in a room. You are often told that your head is in the clouds. You feel as if you are balancing living in two worlds. You already communicate with spirit guides and angels. Last but by no means least is the spiritual empath. This type of empath has been connected to spirit from a very early age. They may have had experiences seeing spirits and angels in childhood but often keep this awareness to themselves as they grow older. For a spiritual empath, it can feel as if they are forever shifting between two worlds, the physical and spiritual, and keeping their feet on the ground can be a struggle. A spiritual empath is often recognized for seeing how situations might pan out. People often come to them for advice when they have an issue that accepted medical care, psychiatry may not solve. There is a paradox where people seem to acknowledge the validity of your abilities but are also judgmental or afraid of them. This can lead spiritual empaths to take on jobs that do not truly satisfy them in order to fit in. Self-care for the spiritual empath looks like finding a like-minded community to share their experiences with. Taking time to ground themselves in the physical world by walking barefoot on the earth or doing physical activities like hiking or yoga. This type of empath is usually drawn to work that balances both the physical and spiritual aspects such as intuitive psychic reading, mediumship and life coaching. To find work that is truly fulfilling, a spiritual empath must learn how to be comfortable with their gifts despite what others may think. FAQ: Can I have more than one or even all types of empath ability? Answer: Yes, absolutely. This is only a rough guide based on my experience. How to develop your empathic abilities. Outside of focusing on the areas you are already strong in, there are a few ways to develop your empathic abilities. Set strong boundaries. Often we take being sensitive to mean being completely open. We are always available to others, always looking to help, even if it means pushing our needs aside. Know you can be all of these things without sacrificing your own physical, mental, emotional health. Don't be afraid to look at the ways you might be leaving yourself wide open. And where you want to place some limits. Notice the shadow that comes along with your empathic abilities. Many empaths find that along with the gifts that come alongside deep empathy, there is a darker side. We might become cold or apathetic. We might also wish to close down or repress our sensitivity. Often we repress or hide these aspects of ourselves because other people haven't approved of them, and so we want to protect ourselves. When we first come to terms with our sensitivity, we might want to be protective of it. But as time goes on, we no longer need to. We can thrive even when others disapprove or aren't on the same wavelength. Practice mindfulness or meditation consistently. One of the key ways our empathic abilities become distorted is through a lack of self-awareness. We might be able to pick up on other people's emotions with ease, but are we in tune with our own? Carve time away every day to sit with yourself in quiet. What are you feeling, thinking and doing? No need to do deep introspection or try to analyze everything every time. Just be with yourself however that may look. Give yourself space. Which type of empath are you? Get started with energy work. Receive 5 emails over 4 days covering the basics of working with your energy.